I started working at the Kingston Public Hospital in 1997 in Jamaica, West Indies. And during those days, I used to overheard nurses talking about ghostly encounters that patients used to tell them about ghosts that appears on the unit and will be there looking after them. And also nurses will be talking about their seen ghosts on the unit looking after patients. I used to laugh and ask myself, what are they talking about? But I would be still doing my work and I wouldn't interject and say they're stupid or whatever. I just think they were delusional and I didn't want to talk about it until I encountered my ghostly experience. And it wasn't one, it wasn't two, and it wasn't three times. It was quite a few times. I didn't talk about it that much because I was told not to talk about it because I didn't want to scare the other nurses. Evanity Star TV. Hi, my name is Evanity Star TV, and I'm here to share with you a ghost encounter that happened to me back in Jamaica when I was working as a nurse. So if you're here for the first time, don't be afraid to like, share, turn on the post notification bell so that you can be notified of more videos. And if you're a return subscriber, just continue to smash that like button and write good comments, and you know what I mean. So guys, just stay tuned and let me share my story with you, okay? Kingston Public Hospital is now 246 years old, and it is located downtown Kingston on North Street. Kingston Public Hospital is one of the first hospitals that started in Jamaica. This hospital was opened in 1776, and it was catered only for white people during those days, during slavery time. In 1838, they started accepting black people after the emancipation of slavery in 1833. So you can see, Kingston Public Hospital has been around for a long time, and it has covered generations and generations and generations and generations of patients that has died, not only patients but nurses. And during those days, when I knew about nursing, nurses was a very dear and dedicated profession. If you're not married, or if you weren't married, you could not have children. So most nurses just dedicate their life just to become nurses, and that's all they do. So I was told that when they died, they were still performing nursery duties on the unit, and they are encountered by patients and other nurses. Now, I am going to be talking about two stories, part one, part two of my different encounters. And for what happened to me here in Kingston Public Hospital, I'm going to be talking about this. And there's another encounter that happened to me in the Victoria Jubilee Hospital that was across from Public Hospital. And let me start. I was assigned the night duty, and the shift goes like this. It's an 8-hour shift, and it's 7 to 3, 3 to 11, and 11 to 7. So it's 3 shifts. So you have 3 sets of nurses covering the unit. So to split the shift equally, so that everybody get a chance to work each shift, every month there was a rotation of nurses. So maybe 2 months I'll be working nights, 2 months I'll be working days, 2 months I'll be working afternoon shift. And it goes like that during the period I was there. And one night I was assigned to work the orthopedic unit. And on my orthopedic unit, it's an open floor where the beds are just lined up to the side, in the middle, and close to the nursing station. And it was approximately 11:30 that night. The sister came for a report, because in Jamaica you have sisters. That is the nurses that goes around and check on what happened, and you have to give them a report. And you have also the matrons. Matron is always present on the day shift, and she goes home during the evening. The sisters were the one who used to come around to the unit for the report. One night I was there all by myself. Normally I work with an LPN. After listening to the nurses and hearing them talking about ghostly encounters, and where my unit was very close to the morgue, so I didn't really like working the night, especially on that unit. There's other units that is adjacent to other units, so you have nurses flowing in and out, so I was feeling more comfortable on that unit. But that orthopedic floor was a ground floor, and it was at the back of Kingston Public Hospital. And I didn't like working there, but it's a job and I have to do it. I love taking care of patients, so I was assigned the night duty. 11:30, after giving the patient their medication and everything settled, I decided to dim the light so that the patient could get comfortable sleep. The sister turned up. I didn't take it for anything because you have sisters work sessional duty from different locations. So I wasn't sure if this sister was from the Victoria Jubilee Hospital or from another hospital. All I know that this sister came on the unit and she said she wanted report. And I walk around with this nurse and I gave her a report, bed to bed report on every patient. And she walked away and everything was fine. I didn't feel no funny feeling. Then to my astonishment, after I gave her the report, here comes sister that I know coming for report. And I said, sister, but I gave the report already. She said, give what report? She said, just me and another sister is in the office. And that other sister gone to another section and she is taking care of this section. And I said, sister, just give the nurse the report. I don't want to call her the sister's name or anything. I just, because that sister is now demised. So I don't want to really call her name. And she said, tell me what the nurse looks like. And I started to give her a description of the nurse. And she just went ahead and she just took the report from me. And she said to me, I don't want you to be talking about this to anybody. Do not scare the other nurses. And I said, what are you saying to me? And she said, later on I'll tell you. And I said, later on you'll tell me? What are you going to tell me? Tell me. And she said to me, she said, later on I'll tell you. So I didn't take it for anything. I waited, and in the morning, when daylight out and everything, I wanted her to tell me, but I couldn't talk to her because she left. She gave her report and she left. So I wanted to find out from her, what was this encounter? What happened? Because I didn't feel any way. I didn't feel uncomfortable. Like 2 days after, I came across her and I said, sister, what are you trying to tell me about that? Because I've never seen her before. And she said, that is a nurse that everybody's talking about that they see, and she came to you for a report and she had died X amount of years. I said, what? You're lying. She said, yes. The description that I gave her of the nurse, that nurse died a long time ago, and it's not only me talking about that nurse, and she don't want me to be saying it to other nurses to scare them because she want to have nurse to work on the night shift. And I said, wow. I still talk to other nurses and I tell a few nurses that, that was my close friends. And I laugh and I say, only you alone can see them. Look like you have magnetic eyes. They have never encountered anything like that. So I said, this nurse never did me anything. This nurse, I never feel my head raised. I never feel cold bumps. I never feel anything. She just came on the unit and she just asked me for a report, and I walk around with her and I discussed every patient with her, and she left. That was it. She said that is how she turn up and show herself to other nurses, and they give her a report the same way, but it's not every nurse she can turn up to. So some nurses, she will turn up on the unit and they start to get into spirit. They start to speak in tongues because they're filled with the Holy Ghost, according to what she's telling me. And I said, okay. So then she liked me. She didn't do me anything. She said she don't really do anybody anything. She's still doing her nursing duty. And that is it. So every night after that, I keep looking out for this nurse because I tell them I am not going to be working by myself. They listen to me, and I said, if I come to work and I am assigned alone on that unit, I am not going to work. And so surprisingly, every time I come to work, they assign me a nurse, and that was it. So I didn't hear anything about it anymore. I didn't say anything to anybody because they change you on a regular basis. I was now on the surgical floor. On the surgical floor is neurology, surgery, ENT, facial max. It's a multifaceted unit. So I was there on the floor, and at the same time, sister came for a report and everything was well. We dimmed the light and everything. And all of a sudden, I look across at one of the patients, and there was a nurse sitting in the bed of another patient. She was sitting on the side of the bed and talking to the patient. I was thinking, oh, that a nurse from next door came and was sitting at the bedside of the patient. But I said, but wait, I closed the door. Sister came and she collected the report. I am not getting any admission throughout the night. So why is it that a nurse is in the bed of the patient? So I went and I looked at the door, the entrance on the unit, because I closed it so I can hear if anybody coming in. And when I looked back, there was no nurse. The nurse was gone. I wasn't scared. I just knew that this is what happened, and from there, don't bother me, everything is fine. I know it happened to me, and even though I was listening to other nurses and hearing them talk about it, I didn't believe them until it happened to me. So I've decided to do this because it's Halloween, and I just want to, just share my input into this. Any nurses that is listening to me right now from Kingston Public Hospital, they can attest that this does happen. And I wouldn't say any nurse, but nurses from long time back in my time, they can tell you that this does happen. And I'm going to share part 2 with you and tell you about another incident that takes place with me at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, where I had another ghostly encounter. So guys, if you like my video and you like what I'm saying, don't be afraid to like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so that you can be informed of more videos to come. So guys, have a good day.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string.